Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, as always, a couple of reminders that I'm not your financial advisor, and we never provide any investment advice on this channel. So with that being said, if you're somebody new, thank you so much for joining us and joining the channel, joining the series. So certainly always appreciate newcomers, to the series. And if you're somebody that's joined us, from the very beginning, or you found us somewhere along the way, certainly glad to have you here as part of the series and the channel. So, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Always helps to have more subscribers, getting the word out, in regards to what's going on, to video content, being observed here on the Investment Honey channel. And, it's through your help, really, that we can continue to get more of this content out to more people across the YouTube landscape by you sharing the channel with them as a subscriber. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. So a couple of things to go ahead and talk about in regards to review, and then we'll move into some discovery. So with that being said, we got Rabbit Hole Media here, and I wanted to go ahead and point this one out because, we took a look at this one 3 days ago, as you can see right here. Set a couple of alerts, on this one, for it to trigger, when it went under 80K, and then for it to trigger when it went over 120K. So we obviously found this one according to our note at 106K. So we can close it out. And then we can see, here it's currently at 249, and the peak, on this one is looking like it's just under 300. Okay, so if we found this one at 106, obviously this one has pumped a bit, since this one was found. So obviously, on this channel, we try to catch stuff anywhere that may do a 2x, all the way to 10x and beyond. And this is yet another example, of a token that we caught early. Again, this was 3 days ago, so this was on the 20th. So basically, launch day for this token. And obviously, in spite of the bottomed out, area here, it's climbed, ever since, which that's certainly, positive to see in regards to anything that we discover, here on the channel as we're going through this series. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Want to point that one out to you. And then here, chart looks, pretty, terrible, admittedly so, but that's not the point. The point is, when did we catch this one? We saw this one at 118. This one was also created 3 days ago. Okay. And so that's the nice thing about, Dexscreener. It'll go ahead and let you know, when you created the alerts and when it's triggered, so this one was created, 3 days ago on the 20th, and it triggered, 3 days ago. So at the end of the day, we can see that when this one was found at 118K, according to our note here, it went all the way up, to, let's see here, it's peaking out, just a little over 500K, so, this one had some pretty good movement, and then we can see a couple of runs here, this run, and then it tried to run up again, and then it was just all done. Now, what have I told you guys before? I've told you that, hey, when you get a couple of good runs, on a chart, it's really, really difficult, in my personal opinion, just watching a lot of charts over time, for charts to continue to maintain those runs over and over and over again, right? So unless you're seeing a pattern where you're seeing a lot of, support where it could go ahead and do it again, a lot of times, they'll go ahead and they'll go up, they'll come right back down, because you got people that came into these, tokens pretty early, and they go ahead and they, have a pretty big sell, it only takes, maybe, anywhere between 2 and 4 big sells, on a chart to go ahead and just panic everybody else. And then before you know it, everybody else is selling, and then the charts, bottomed out to the point where it just doesn't look appealing to anybody else coming into that chart to decide to go ahead and take the risk and buy in. And if they do, it's usually pretty small buys, and you need more than that as far as a catalyst, to go ahead and really, kind of move that token, up again. So just keep that in mind. But either way, this one, like I said, it was found at 118. It ran up, to over 500K. This one did pretty well, in terms of, catching it early and then seeing it, kind of just go on its run before it ran out of gas. So this one was RRA, so we can see that right here, the retirement account. And like I said, this one did pretty well. So we'll go ahead and we'll close this one out. Now, looking at this one right here, we didn't talk about this one on the channel, but this is one that I found. I found this 2 days ago, okay? And so been looking at it, and one of my hesitancies, even though they had a pretty decent social presence, was the fact that they bottomed out pretty well. We're talking, this was like, under 30K. And then, it started to get some buy pressure, you can see some retracement here. And it started, it's just been it's been building up, pressure, so, and then today it just kind of, exploded. Now, Do I think even sitting at above 400K that this one is completely done? I'm not so sure, to be honest with you, just because this is one I think that comes out of TikTok, and man, there's a lot of posts, a lot of videos, a lot of views. They're picking up a ton of followers like every day. It's crazy. And we're talking 6-figure range, in terms of followers that they're picking up, daily. So I don't know if that momentum is going to continue, but does seem like a fun meme. I don't even know if you can call it a meme, but it's the name's Ted, so. But either way, you can see they got a fun banner, going on right here. And so, yeah, I mean, for a weekend, this is definitely unusual to see this kind of breakout. And like I said, I've been watching this one. But yeah, and even I'm surprised at how much it's broken out today. So I'm curious to see, especially considering, it's Sunday, what Monday's going to look like, and, later on this week. But yeah, this may be one to go ahead and kind of put on your radar if you're not aware of this one. So, and as always, guys, just make sure you go ahead and just copy the the name here. You can go ahead and just copy that, take it into the search, bar over here, and then just go ahead and match up. You can match up the 24-hour and the 1 hour, the percentages, or you can go over here to the pair and, to the name of the token, and you can just match up, the last 4 characters, in each of the addresses to make sure that you're in the right token. Those are just a couple of different ways to go ahead and match up, to make sure you're following the same token that I'm talking about here, in the video. So again, been watching this one, and it's gone on a massive run since I've been watching this one. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Actually, before we do that, so just and staying consistent with what we do here on the channel, we'll go ahead and we'll set some alerts on this. So right now we're looking at 414. All right, so here we go, and we're going to go ahead and put this at 414K. Now, let's see here, going over, let's go ahead and let's say for this one, I don't know, let's put an alert at 440. Oops, I'm almost doing 450. Okay, so 440 on the over, and then on the under, I'm going to go ahead and put 414 in again. Let me see. On the under, let's go ahead and let's go to 350 on this one. Okay, so yeah, so those are the alerts that are there. Let's see if any of those trigger, and then we're going to go ahead and close this one out, and we're going to go into discovery mode at this point. So now you can see, I've got everything basically set, to the defaults. So we're going to go ahead and go into our customization screen here by clicking on the gear. We're going to get rid of price. We're going to get rid of transactions, volume, makers, keep all the time frames. We're going to get rid of liquidity and keep market cap, and click apply. So we got more streamlined version, sitting here, less information to look at, but I don't really need all the stuff that I've gone ahead and unchecked, as far as that customization screen was concerned. And then we're going to go over to filters and all platforms. We're going to go ahead and take a look, at all 4, Solana, BSC, Ethereum, and Base today. And nothing here to go ahead and do on the DEX side, just because we've already got multiple chains selected, and we're not going to do anything with these profile, or with these additional options, here from profile, boosted, or ads. Won't worry about any of that just yet. One day we will go ahead and take a look at that, but we're not going to do it yet, just yet, as far as I'm concerned. Now, market cap, we're going to go ahead and stick with our minimum 50K, and we're going to go out to 200K. So, and then pair age, we're going to go 1 hour to 50 hours. So, all right. And then on the 24-hour chains, we're going to go ahead and go with our minimum value of 10%. All right. So that means that we're not going to see anything under 10%, as far as that 24-hour column is concerned. So we go and we look here, we check that off, and we shouldn't see anything under 10%. So we don't. All right. So here we go. And then it looks like we got just under 60 tokens, okay, to look at. We're going to go over to the 5-minute just so we can go ahead and fast track, looking to see which ones are actually getting some volume, some very recent volume, in the last 5 minutes. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and start to open some stuff up. Okay, so new era, AI, we'll go ahead and open that one up. 69x minutes, I don't really know what that is, but we'll open it up. This one will open up as well. I think I saw this earlier, but it really retraced pretty hard. If I'm right, it came out of Pump Fun. And so I'm curious, I'm interested to check this one out, just because I didn't think it was actually going to bond. So let's see here. Cyber Trump, sure, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at that one. And artists who can't sing. Huh, that actually sounds like something coming out of some social media platform, to be honest with you. Let's see here. What else are we looking at? Real Grok voice, sure. Okay, Trump tasks. All right, let's take a look at that one. This is actually one, FAFO, the federal agency. That's one that I guess Elon had proposed as a new agency. Okay, so Federal Agency for Financial Oversight. All right, and then let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so nothing else there. What I'm going to do is, before we take a look at that, I'm going to take you into Telegram. I want to show you another token as well that I called, on the channel. So if you're not part of this channel yet, certainly, consider that. There are, calls that I'll make here on the channel that I may not go ahead and talk about on YouTube or any other platform, okay, that I'm associated with. But with that said, this is Majorana 1, okay? So I went ahead and I said, in the write-up here that it does appear to be pretty undervalued in my personal opinion, at the current market cap because, it was, when I called it, it was a 121. It even dipped under 100K here in the last hour. So I think it was like around 85K. And then, they made it over back, made it back over 100K and so forth. But at the end of the day, the reason why I say that this, I think, is pretty undervalued is because I think it was on the 19th, that Microsoft had revealed that they had, what was it? They created, basically, or discovered like a new matter state. Oh, what do I want to call this? Let's see here. A new state of matter. That's what it is. New state of matter. So sorry about that. Sorry about getting tongue-tied there. But new state of matter. So we're not talking about a liquid, a solid, or a gas. We're talking about something else. So I believe it's something. It's like a topological. At the quantum level, I think is what they're referring to it as. But either way, it's really big news. Because quantum computing is going to be something that's going to be entering our world. Very, very soon. There are a lot of researchers looking into this, and it's going to, I believe, really change our world in terms of just computational power. This chip, if you know anything about, these kind of things, there's a lot of research into what this will be able to do in terms of even just the expediting what we do medically. They're talking about this in regards to possibly breaking, Bitcoin's encryption. Quantum computing is going to really be a big deal, as far as the future is concerned. So, and I really can't speak to it, with any kind of, level of expertise. All I can tell you is that just from things that I've read, on a surface level, it's a really big deal. So we actually came across this token, I think it was some days ago, really at launch, for this one. And they've just kind of been hanging around, and for something as far as this kind of news, is concerned, for it still to be hovering around 100K market cap, that's really unusual because of the impact that this token and what it can do, or what it's projected to be able to do. I think, like I said, I just believe that I think it's undervalued in my personal opinion. Now, that's not, please, I don't want you to go ahead and consider that to be like a shill, that, hey, you need to jump into this. I don't do that kind of stuff. All I can do is just tell you what I know and tell you what I think, okay? But I'm never going to show you anything. I may put something on your radar, but the shill is to tell you you need to go ahead and get it, and you're never going to hear that nonsense from me. So because at the end of the day, you may decide to go ahead and jump into it, and then this thing goes to zero. And that's always a possibility. I don't care how good the token is. I don't care how bullish you are in regards to it. Any of these tokens, they can go up and they can come down very quickly, so we just simply never know the future. If we knew, then we'd all be rich, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, I think it looks pretty decent, and that's the reason why I went ahead and I put it, on the call channel, let everybody kind of see what I wrote up about it to see how they want to, proceed with it. So, and I leave these kind of disclaimers, in these call posts, basically just stating that it could be a token, to explore for anybody that's interested in checking it out. So, so yeah, that's about as far as I go in terms of telling anybody, hey, anything regarding my sentiment pertaining to a particular token. So either way, thought this might be of interest to anybody that's watching this particular video. If you want to go ahead and check that one out, all you got to do is go over here, in Telegram. This is how you'll find the channel. You can always go ahead and see that it's all these Telegram links. They start with t.me, and then this is what it is. So. And, you've got the link, associated, with the channel, in the profile, on YouTube as well. So, all right. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move back on over, to the tabs that we opened up. So sorry about that bit of a digression, but I definitely want to make sure that I put that on your radar. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these charts, make sure that they look okay. And we want to make sure that they've got at least a Telegram. Okay. So this one looks okay to me. They got a Telegram. This one, they don't have a Telegram. So we're going to close this one out. Pipe, they do have a Telegram, which is interesting because I didn't think they would. But I'm not real crazy about this chart pattern. So it's like, does it want to break out or not? I don't know. So, but either way, let's see what they got going on as far as the Telegram. We'll keep it. And this one, Cybertrump, we'll keep this one too. They look like they might be on a little bit of an uptrend. This one, this is Can't Sing, artists who can't sing. They don't have a Telegram, so we're not going to worry about this one. And then here is the real Grok voice, no Telegram. We won't worry about this one. This one as well, no Telegram. And this one does have a Telegram. We'll go ahead and we'll keep this one just for now, even though I'm not crazy about this chart. And you can see like a major sell-off here. It looks like it rubbed, right? So, but they're still sitting at 75K. I'm curious to see, what's in the Telegram. So we're going to go ahead and still check out the Telegram on this one. But aside from that, if I don't really care for what's going on in the Telegram and I don't see any real potential for this one, I may just go ahead. I'm probably just going to go ahead and say we're going to forget about it, especially when you consider that they've got a minus 70% and 70+%, here in the 1 hour. All right, so, but we'll come back around to it. If numbers get worse, then we'll just go ahead and skip it all together. Okay, so we're going to go back into our filters, and then we're going to go to 201, and then we'll just, go all the way out to 500, and call it a day in terms of, scouting form, so. Okay, so let's see what we got going on. So we can see we've got another one here. Okay, so this is probably going to look better. Let's just pull it up real quick just to see. Okay, so right away I can see they've got some other stuff going on here. The chart I can already tell is going to look healthier. So yeah, this, and here's the reason why I also don't mess around with duplicates, because sometimes you just don't know which one's the OG, so, but either way, what I'll do is I'll keep this one up here. I'm going to go down here just so you can see this information. So you're looking for 3488, on the pair, and B806, on the name of the token. So if you're going to go ahead and try to follow this one, because I'm going to close it out after this, and this is what you're looking for. So obviously, since you have the benefit of the video, you just go ahead and pause it, and then you can go ahead and do the search, with Dexscreener, and then match up those numbers, and that way you'll know you're in the right token. Okay, so I'm going to close that one out because, again, as I've mentioned on other videos, when we're dealing with duplicates, I tend to just avoid it altogether. Okay, so let's open up some of these up, like FEC here. I'm not going to worry about it because it's a duplicate. CZ's Frog, sure, we'll open that one up. And let's see here, Cold Wallet. I think we looked at this one yesterday, or at least last time I did a video, so I'm not going to worry about that one. And then obviously this is the one that I was talking about, TED, right? So Captain Base, let's see here. Did I miss it? Okay, so that one's gone now. Orange Cat, no, we're not going to mess with that one. Captain Base, let's see what that is. Okay, all right, so we've got these. This is what we're going to work with. Bonk. Okay, so this was CZ's Frog. They got a Telegram. We'll keep it open for now. And then Captain Base. They got a Telegram too. Want to go up to the 5 minutes, see what's going on. This one doesn't look terrible, but we've only got 5 tokens. So here's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into the filters. We're going to adjust the time frame, see if we can see some other stuff going on. Let's go to 51 and let's go to 120. All right, let's see what we get here. If we get anything else worth looking at. All right, so let's pull this up and let's see. Oh, Hurricane, we got some dupes on that one. Home, I don't know what this is, but we'll open it up. But anyway, Greed, sure, let's open it up. Not sure what that is. The Rabbit Hole, let's see. Doge Father, no, we're not looking at that. Okay, so where were we at? I'll open this one up too. Let's see what we got going on here. Maybe we can get some more prospects. Not real crazy about this chart right away. Maybe. All right, tell you what, we'll keep this one open. Greed, let's see what we got going on here. 15, 1 hour. This one's bottomed out, so we're not going to worry about this one. And this one actually looks pretty decent. So, okay, so we got some going on, so we're going to keep all this stuff open, and let's start to look at the channels now. Okay, so New Era AI, let's see what we got going on. We got a portal, which is good. Like, we were missing out on a lot of portals yesterday, right? So yesterday was just kind of a weird day. Okay, so right away we can see we get a VC, 3 people in there. So, I mean, but they got some participants, so from a place of optics, it looks pretty decent. So it still looks good. 3:21 is my time on my clock, so that's good to see. All right, so, but here's the thing, like, we only get 2 buys and we're not seeing anything else. So tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick. We'll go ahead and close out the TG, re-enter, and see if we can see some other stuff going on. Okay, so I went ahead and I closed everything out and came back in, and so, yeah, this is just weird. They're saying they got over 1,100 people, subscribe to this channel, and then we see some spam here. Nothing as far as pinned messages are concerned, so this is definitely one we're going to avoid, because there are just signs in here that this is not, one, a very well managed, channel. 2, there's nothing going on as far as what they communicated to the community. We don't see any kind of evidence of any rating, or any trending. Yeah, it just looks really, really odd as far as the channel is concerned. So this is one we're definitely going to skip altogether. Okay, so we're going to leave that. There we are. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So we've got Pipe is what I'm going to call this one. And so it's going to their channel, see what they got going on. This is a CTO. As I mentioned before, guys, in regards to the CTOs, a lot of them are crap, but you do have some exceptions, so we'll see how this one fares. They got over 400 people, associated with this channel. So right away, we can see evidence of a raid. Looking for 2 bookmarks, 5 retweets, 7 comments, and 10 likes. And looking for the last buy in here, that's going to be at 3:23, so that's just 1 minute off from my clock. All right, and then they say that they're on the leaderboard, trending number 4, so we're going to see if they are. And so Pipe, there we are. There they go. So they are on the leaderboard, as far as that's concerned. Let's see here. Anything else going on? Okay, not seeing that. So looking at their pinned messages, we can see they've applied, to CoinGecko. All right. But you got a lot of teams that go ahead and apply, to, CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. And it looks good to see that they actually put in a request, but for a ton of them that go ahead and do this, they never make it, to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. So to me, I don't really care, as a person who's dealt with a lot of tokens, when they go ahead and they put stuff like this, I just kind of roll my eyes, like, I don't really care. I mean, it matters, I guess, if you make it, but if you don't make it, it's just something you put out there, to hopefully encourage people to go ahead and buy into your token, but again, it's kind of wishful thinking unless you really got a team that's truly like, putting in the work, to go ahead and really get seen and keep pushing the token, so that, the buy pressure, stays consistent, and then by the time their application, is reviewed, then it actually does look like something that CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, actually wants on their platform. So, okay, let's see. They're saying they conquered, 2 pretty bad dips and they came back stronger. So, all right, let's see here. So they're talking about trending. I guess at one point they had a boost going. So let's see if they've still got a boost on this one. So yeah, the 30x boost, is still there, which is positive. Okay, so they got the trending and they got a little bit of rating going. So, okay, as far as this one's concerned, even though I'm not crazy about the chart, we're going to go ahead. We're going to place a couple of alerts on this one, under and over. So with that being said, this is sitting at 70K. So 70K is what we're going to state as our found market cap. All right, so there we are. Copy that, and we're going to go ahead and put this at 85. Okay, on the over, and then on the under, I think we're going to go to 55K. All right, so there we are. We'll see if any of those trigger on this one. Okay, so there we are. And here, Cybertrump. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the channel, see what they got going on. All right, so right away we can see bunch of spam. They haven't done anything, with this one. So this is likely, one that they've abandoned, so there's no active moderation, taking place, in that particular token. So we're going to leave that alone. All right, so even though they're getting some buys, I mean, the buys are strictly, as far as I'm concerned, coming from this massive boost that they've paid for, so and I mean, their hot pair is number 2, so they're getting some exposure, but it sure isn't coming from the chat. And anybody that's relying on the boosts, for, tokens that they want to go ahead and scout to get into, really, you should take the additional step to go ahead and take a look at what's going on in the channel, because if you look at what's going on in the channel, that will probably lead to somebody deciding, I don't want to go ahead and stay with this token because there is no team activity going on in that channel. So we're going to leave this one alone. All right, and so we got here Boink. Okay, so we're going to go to the Telegram, see what's going on here. All right, so this is all they got going on as far as the Telegram. So this is the reason why it does make sense to check out the Telegram channels, because again, just because it looks like they've got a channel doesn't actually mean they've got a channel. They've got the all you need to do, my guess, is when you're setting this stuff up, through Dexscreener, is you give them a link, for your Telegram channel. It's not like they're going ahead to, it's not like they're going in there to screen it, okay? And then you're good to go. And they give you the little button that says you got a Telegram. But obviously, and there are plenty of people out there, when they're scouting tokens, they just go ahead and they see, oh, they got a Telegram, but they never go ahead and go into the channel because, God forbid, it's just one extra step, right? So, but again, that extra step can be very informative to actually see, whether there is a real community going on. Now, because you don't have a real community, there's no way for people to engage, with each other in the chat. What is this chart likely to do? This chart is likely, almost guaranteed, that it's going to go down. So yes, even though they're getting the buys are going to get hit with sell pressure, because there's nothing being, serving as a catalyst to keep those buys coming in. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. So keep that in mind. I'm just, again, as always, giving you information from my perspective, how I go ahead and look at tokens and how I, approach it in terms of, from an evaluative, kind of position. You got to go ahead and take the extra steps just to, yeah, sure, it may take a few minutes to go ahead and do it. But let's say that you're in a token, that's still under 500K, and you take a few minutes to go ahead and do some investigating. That token is not going to go to 500 million in 3 minutes. It's not going to do it. And in the rare cases where stuff like that has happened, and we've seen stuff like that, well, not on this channel, but we've heard the stories about some of that stuff, that have gone to like, billions, just in like an hour. And then what happens? Before you know it, they have retraced. There's been such a massive correction. And sometimes we're talking 60, 70, 80% on that token. So to go ahead and take some additional time to do some investigation, it keeps you safer, right? And it's not going to be the difference of 400 to 500 million on a market cap. It's just not going to be. And if it is, there's going to be a heavy correction, which still leads to you being able to get in at a decent entry, instead of being hit with, massive, exodus on a chart where you become exit liquidity, or you're down so much that hey, you're trying to DCA back up to mitigate your losses, all because you felt like you had to FOMO in to that token. Take the extra time to look into the token to see if it's something you actually want to jump into. Now, obviously, as I always go ahead and mention to you guys on this channel, we don't encourage you to invest, but we know that you're engaging, with this with crypto-related content, so the likeliness of you, jumping into a token is likely, but again, the disclaimer still has to be made to you. But again, just heed what I'm telling you. It can't make things worse for you to actually decide to take a few minutes to just do your own due diligence. And we always see that DYOR, do your own research, but we know so many people doing this stuff, they never take the time. They see a chart moving and they jump in, and then before you know it, they're wrecked. That's emotional trading, and that's not what you want to do. Take the time, do some, just do your little checks, and you can see when we go into these channels, we're not spending 20 minutes in there. We're looking for a few things just to go ahead and make sure we got some stuff checked off the list. What are they doing to go ahead and market the token? And are they actually moderating? Is the team actually active? That takes you literally less than 60 seconds to go ahead and do that, as evidenced through so many tokens that have been covered through this series. We're not spending a ton of time in these channels. Now, granted, there are times where I may go ahead and take a look at a token, and then after the video is done, go back in and take a look at it a little bit more. But like I said, if you feel like you need to jump into something really, really quickly, just throw a couple of bucks on the chart, okay? And that way you got your buy in there, okay? And then utilize that buy dip function, in Maestro. The link is in the description. That's the bot that you would use to go ahead and trade. And then you set your thresholds, so if it drops 50%, you're not having to go ahead and watch the chart. The bot is watching the chart for you, okay? And it'll go ahead and it'll trigger, based on the thresholds you set. And then you can go ahead and do your additional investigation, while the bot's watching to see if the chart's going to go ahead and dump, and if it does, then it's already, you've already set in the bot what you want it to do, right? So yeah, just stuff to keep in mind. All right. So I'm done with that little rant. All right. So we're going to move into Captain Base here. So let's take a look at the Telegram. All right. So let's see if we get a portal or anything. All right. So again, another token where it's like, hey, you can see just going into their Telegram, there is no real community here. Okay. So again, we've had a couple of different examples, which has been good in the air of this conversation to go ahead and see the importance of not just taking for granted, the optics of, oh, they've got a Telegram, because they got the button here. It doesn't mean they actually have a community, and you want to have a community because a community is what's going to help to drive buys on top of whatever else the team is doing marketing wise, right? So yeah, so even though people are buying into this, what do I say before? People tend to follow buys as much as they follow sells. So yeah, they're seeing people buying into this, but at the end of the day, it's a terrible idea because there's no community to go ahead and continue to serve as a catalyst to keep these buys going. You also don't have any rating. You don't have any trading going on. No evidence of any kind of paid callers. No evidence of any, ads being paid for or boosts. No evidence of any advertising whatsoever. So whatever they're doing, it's either they've got some marketing that they're not going ahead and actually telling anybody about, or people are just blindly just following this, based on maybe they like the name, maybe they think the chart doesn't look bad, or they see people going ahead and buying into it. Maybe they got some scanners, that are making auto buys, for them based on the fact they're seeing, maybe certain thresholds have been met, in terms of what they're looking for. But again, there's nothing in my personal opinion that says that this is going to continue to go up. It's an achievement that they've made it to 452K in itself, but again, at some point, this is going to go, it's going to go down. So even though they're getting buys right now, there's nothing that we've seen that says this is going to continue to go up. Just saying. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you want to go ahead and watch this one for yourself, you want to comment about it. If this does happen to go ahead and pop off, feel free to let me know. But I stand by what I'm telling you. There's nothing that I've seen that would make me want to go and jump into this chart, because you need to actually see some things, some evidence to say that, hey, putting my money here is going to be a good idea, or I'm going to get some kind of return. And I don't really see that off of this chart or what I've seen, based on, clicking the Telegram link. Okay, so we're going to close this one out. Poom, let's take a look at this one too. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, so we do get a portal on this one. Okay, let's see what they got going on the channel. Over 1,100 people on the channel. Let's see here. So the last buy came in at 329. That would have been 6 minutes ago as far as my clock's concerned. Okay, and they've got, some raid stats here. Okay, so they got 15 likes, 5 replies, 4 reposts, 3 bookmarks, okay, and a bunch of views. All right, so that's good stuff. All right, so what do they got going on here? In the pinned messages. They got something here from the owner. They're gonna, the chat will be useful when they open registration for Poom AI. For now, it's a general discussion chat, for our new AI platform. Okay, so they're giving you a timeline, space call every day, and what they're doing. Poom AI demo starts tomorrow. They got more calls coming. Be prepared, more coming. We'll update this later. Okay, so when was this? What was the time frame on this? This was 3 days ago. Okay, so I personally want to see them actually mention more in terms of updates, in their pin message, but it's okay. I like the fact they've got some stuff that's going on here either way. Spaces, was mentioned. This is in a different language, so I can't tell you what it means, but they're basically telling, I'm guessing, that they've got a Chinese community already set up, which is good. We don't always see that. Okay, so they're being sensitive to other languages. Join our space now. Okay, so either way, there's some good things I can see there. Okay, so will this chart continue to go up? I don't know. No activity here as represented here, in the last 5 minutes, but clearly we did see that the last buy was like, 6-7 minutes ago, right? So not a lot of buying activity, but that doesn't mean anything bad, right? They have the chart has not dumped. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and set a couple of alerts on this one. Just go ahead and keep it on the radar. We're looking at 211 on the market cap. This is a Solana token. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's put 211K here. All right, we're going to go ahead and copy that. And then we're going to go to market cap. And on the over, let's go ahead and let's put this at 230. Okay. So, and then on the under, let's go ahead and let's paste our found in there. And on the under, let's go ahead and let's go to 190K. Okay. All right, and we'll see if any of those trigger. Okay, so, and then the last one here, yeah, I'm not really sure how to pronounce this. Hanagi, I think maybe. Okay, we're going to take a look at their Telegram. Let's see what we got going on. We get a portal here, which is great. All right, so just over 4,300 members, here in the chat. Okay, so they need to, what, am I supposed to verify again? Yes, so let's do that. All right, so this one requires, I'm guessing, a double verification since I'm being required to go ahead and do this twice. So let's go back, to that token. Okay, yeah, so 2 verifications, guys. Be aware of that. They've got, this is a BSC token then. Okay, so they're trending. All right, let's go ahead and see if this is active. So this should be number 3. All right, so we're going to go to the leaderboard here, and yep, they are on the leaderboard, so they are actively trending, which is good to see. All right, so any kind of rating going on, I haven't seen that yet. So scrolling, I don't see any kind of rating yet. All right, so I don't know if I don't think they're rating. Okay, so as far as like pin messages, a boatload of pin messages. I don't know how on earth they've got over 600, but they do. All right, so got people shilling this to their communities, as well. I like the artwork. The artwork looks pretty good. They got some stuff going on in X, as well. Okay, so we're going to go back out here, and looks like some decent things are going on. Okay, the chart looks pretty decent, so we're going to go ahead and set 2 alerts on this one. Setting at 402. Okay, so we're going to go to market cap, and 402 is going to be the found. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to go to 420. Okay, on the over, and then on the under. Let's put our found in there. On the under, we're going to go to 370K. All right, so there we go. And guys, with that being said, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's video. Appreciate you guys as always for tuning into another video in regards to the Dexscreener series. So we didn't set up a lot of alerts today, but we did set some. So we'll see if we get any movers and shakers, over the next 24 hours, before I go ahead and give you guys another video. And if anything else, we've already got alerts, set for us moving, I'll go ahead and I'll definitely put that on your radar too. If I come across anything new that we may not have talked about on the channel that may be worth mentioning, I will certainly do that for you guys as well. So thanks so much. And if you guys know anybody who can get some value out of the channel from what's being shared here in the Dexscreener series, definitely go ahead and let them know. Share the channel with them and bring them on over, so that they can go ahead and also participate and take in some of the information that's being shared here in the series. All right, so thanks so much, guys. Can't do this without you. So please continue to help the channel grow. Make sure you get subscribed if you're not subscribed yet, and bring some other people on board that you think can also get some value, out of what's being shared here in the series. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys on the next video. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday.